This is the new thing, and it's huge.
But when it doesn't work, it annoys the crap out of me.
Photo library update is just a mess.
They're not really connecting with the AI in the way that they thought they would.
I think people's expectations are way too high.
It's just normal stuff, but we're saying we're using AI for it.
What's going to top Apple Intelligence?
It doesn't seem right now that it's going to be very difficult to top.
AI was huge, and it's not as big anymore. Welcome back to Deaton Street. I'm Dustin, and he's Zach. Apple users have seen the first glimpse of Apple Intelligence, and they're not impressed.
So we're covering a 9 to 5 Mac article today that talks about a survey done by sellcell.com, which states that Apple users are unimpressed with the Apple Intelligence features that we've seen thus far. It also states that Apple users and Samsung users are wanting AI in their smartphones. They're taking into account the AI features that are being advertised when they go and buy a smartphone. But so far, the features that they've seen with these new iOS updates, 18.1, 18.2, I'm on, I think, 18.3, they're unimpressed. They're not really connecting with the AI in the way that they thought they would. Dustin, you and I have talked about this off the camera, and we think we understand a little bit why, because we're going through the same thing.
Yeah. I haven't seen it to the degree that you have. I mean, I still have my older 13 Pro Max. So I've gotten, we looked, it was like 18.1.1. So I haven't seen a lot of the bigger intelligence features. I don't think they're rolled out to my phone, essentially. But I know you have access to some of them, and we tried it out right before we started recording just to see what was it, the text summary or notification summary thing.
Right.
And it was kind of iffy. I mean, that's like one example of, what people are seeing.
Yeah. So I have notification summaries. I've had it for a while now, and it's part of my daily life, and I don't notice it unless it doesn't work well. For instance, when I get a longer text message, it will summarize that for me. And sometimes it works, but I don't think it actually gives me any value, if that makes sense, when it works well. But it definitely annoys me when it doesn't work well. So what I mean by that is when you get like a long summary, like a long text message like you sent me, it'll summarize it, but it kind of summarizes it in a wonky way or doesn't understand the main point of a text message. And so I notice it when it happens then, but when it works, I don't notice it.
Now that brings a good point that I didn't think about, is like these features, like it being AI and stuff, it's going to work differently. But I mean, I would want to not notice it, for it to work effectively. Like I want it to be seamless, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like it is that currently. So it makes it obvious that it's not working, or not working as well as it should, in theory. So that, I think that's what could be fueling the fire a little bit, because it's just not operating maybe at the caliber that it should. So people are noticing the differences or the inconsistencies, in Apple Intelligence.
I think that's part of it for me, right? Like, it's one of the things when you go and look at reviews online of restaurants or whatever, you see a ton of really bad reviews because folks that are upset with something tend to do something proactive to, try to make it right. When you're happy about something, when it's working seamlessly, you don't notice it, and you're less likely to really leave a positive review or talk really well about something. So I think that's happening with me. I won't talk for everyone. When it comes to the notification summaries, when it works well, it's like, okay, cool. It's just part of it. It's not like a proactive thing. It's just something I see and it's like, okay, cool. But when it doesn't work, it annoys the crap out of me. So I don't know if the notification summaries are worth the annoyance, if that makes sense.
So what's some of the other features that you have? Because we tried to look through some of like the main things, like not adaptive text, the
writing tools,
the writing tools and stuff like that. Apparently I don't have that. I've never noticed it, so I've never tried to use it, How has that worked for you?
I think it's the same thing with all of the AI features that I've seen so far in my
Gotcha.
phone, and really with ChatGPT and everything like else like that. I'm not a coding guy,
Hmm.
so I use it a few times. I think it's cool, and then I forget about it, and then I don't use it again.
Hmm. I
Right?
think we've
So
said that exact same thing on a previous video to some degree. You know, oh, I got this idea. I'm gonna plug it in to ChatGPT, and then all right, I'll use it for 2 weeks, and then I don't need it anymore. You know.
yeah, and I think overall, I think AI is something that is revolutionary for folks that know how to use it and have a use case for it. We
Hmm.
talked before about how we're not always those people, you and I,
Hmm.
and we get blasted in the comments about
We
all
super do.
yeah, like the ways that you can use AI and the way that
Yeah.
it is changing the world, right? So using it for, yeah, I'm sure doctors use it, right? And
Oh yeah.
coders and programmers use it quite a bit. In fact, it's challenging that. It's going to be a challenge for that field. If you
Hmm.
work in programming, if you do code all the time, it's going to help until it, essentially maybe take some jobs type of situation.
Hmm.
But when it comes to phones, I think that people want to feel that magic it, it, that we felt when we first got phones. Like it's going to change our life. It's going to make everything so much easier,
Hmm.
and it just doesn't. You're kind of in your circle. You're the tech guy, right?
Hmm.
Before we got on, you told me a little bit about what folks are complaining about to you about the AI
Oh yeah.
features.
Oh yeah. So well, and I don't know that it's necessarily as much AI features as though it is the just the new features for the new iOS stuff. But I think I will probably have several people in the comments agree with me that the photo library update is just a mess. I think there is some AI stuff in the photo stuff. I haven't experienced it. I haven't needed to use it or anything. Just the new layout just kind of sucks. And if you don't know what you're doing, then it's kind of hard to navigate. Little tiny things like that. It's just like it's a noticeable difference that isn't the same as to what people are used to. So it's like where's the line? Where's the magic line that people need to see the magic, but it still be comfortable and this is what I'm used to. Don't change anything, please. But I still want it to do these crazy awesome features, but I need it to be the same. Like, no, there's got to be some give and take there.
Yeah, I want it to be familiar, but I also want it to be amazing and new all at the same time.
Yeah, it's like there's gonna have to be some change if you're gonna add new features, new bells and whistles. Things are gonna be different. It is what it is.
So one of the things that everyone's very excited about that should be the magic thing that makes this new Apple Intelligence the best thing ever is an improved AI assistant,
Hmm.
voice assistant. I'm not going to say her name because she's listening right now.
Yeah.
I've used that a little bit. I've used it more than I did last year
Okay.
before the updates. It is a little better,
Hmm.
but it's still not Jarvis. It still can't manage my life in the way that I want it to be able to manage my life in order for me to talk to it all the time.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this incremental change that we're seeing with Apple Intelligence, as far as we get a couple new features every time it rolls out a new iOS. I wonder if that was the wrong way to go. I wonder if they should have waited a year
Hmm.
and released all of it at the same time. Maybe not even call it AI because I think the marketing behind the word AI gets a little funky as well.
Yep.
Because is this a large language model? Is it just, machine learning stuff? Because Apple will tell you they've had machine learning in their products for years and years. So
Hmm.
is the reason specifically with this article and this survey that went out, is the reason we feel this way because we're being promised so much and Apple is under delivering, or do consumers have just wild expectations of life-changing tech that just isn't coming around the corner because that's not what AI is?
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I think they should have waited because, and the theory is that Apple Intelligence and everything isn't fully out yet. Even like they're rolling it out incrementally, like you said, but like the full shebang isn't supposed to come out until what, March? I don't quote me on that, but I think it's like the first quarter of next year. Um, so why not wait? I mean, I get they're trying to they want to have a press conference every year and to roll out these new features and blah blah blah, but like give us some actual tangible features that we can utilize. I don't know. They kind of did that. I'm talking myself in a circle here, but they kind of did give us some features to play with. But something that big that they're trying to market as AI or remarket as Apple Intelligence should have been like dropping a you know dropping a bomb on it, right? March comes around or whenever it would roll out, just big old press conference. Here you go. This is the new thing, and it's huge. Rather than next year we're gonna have this crazy new thing. What's the crazy new thing that they're gonna do for on next year's what you call the conference thing, the keynote,
You know,
whatever it is. Like what's gonna top Apple Intelligence? Because they're people are going to expect something to top it.
well, and it doesn't seem right now that it's going to be very difficult to top. In fact, I think that next year's keynote might be.
So bad off.
Well, I don't mean that.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get it. It's funny though. Uh,
Next year might be here's how we're fixing Apple Intelligence without actually saying that, right?
mhm.
Like here are the updates that you're going to see to make it faster, stronger, more attentive, more
Daft Punk in
within
there.
the environment, right? Right.
Better, faster, stronger.
I do wonder about AI, and this is kind of the last thought that I have about
Mhm.
this in the survey. And we didn't really talk about the survey, but really what we took from this 9 to 5 Mac article is that there's a difference in, consumers' attitudes towards wanting AI, and then when they get AI,
Mhm.
how they feel about it when they actually get it. I wonder if and this might be a terrible, terrible metaphor, or sorry, analogy,
Yeah.
but I wonder if AI is kind of like race car tech. And when you put it in like a consumer car, like a minivan,
Mhm.
it's cool to have in there, but it just doesn't make sense. Well, like when you're taking your kids to school, like this race car tech that you have in your minivan,
Mhm.
you're going to forget about it because when are you going to use it?
Yeah. It's
That's what
more of
AI feels like to
yeah,
me
it's like
right
a
now.
novelty kind of thing. Or like I see kind of the same vein of putting new tech in old stuff. You get like your old like Windows XP machine that people gut and then put in like, a nice whatever new computer components are going to go in there and then it's like it's this old yellow computer shell with like this beefy stuff inside and it basically runs like a rocket ship. Same principle. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
Well, it's not necessarily that it's going into old tech. I think what I mean is that AI is incredibly powerful when
Hmm.
used by folks that know how to use it,
Yeah.
right? The race car drivers.
Yeah.
But when you put it in a cell phone and it's just everyday people, they want it in there because it's new and it's trendy and it sounds life changing.
Hmm.
But when it comes down to actually using it doesn't balance out, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's a feature that you'll use for a little bit because it sounds cool, but you're not actually going to change your life and revolve your life around the features in your phone that have AI attached to them.
Hmm. I agree. It should be just kind of a smooth transition to let these tools help you and you not notice them. I think people's expectations are way too high for what they need to do because until they get them, they're going to be like, I need it to be this thing. And then once they get them, then it's to be like, I don't know how to work a phone anymore.
Right.
Hey, hey, Dustin, can you come fix my phone? You know?
I think you're spot on in the fact like it's kind of two pronged. On the consumer side, uh, consumers don't really know what they want with AI,
Hmm.
but on the kind of the company side, the corporate side, they are marketing things as AI that should just be phone features.
Yes.
That should just seamlessly change the way your phone works and doesn't have this huge AI market
Hmm.
alongside of it. Like the whole, the summary thing should have just been like, hey, you can summarize your stuff if you want,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it'll start working and it should work very well.
Yeah.
Same thing with the writing tools. It's like Grammarly. Like when Grammarly came out forever ago, they weren't like Grammarly AI.
Mhm.
It's just like, here are the features. Here's what you're getting in this product. This
Yeah.
thing. And I think that's the thing, is that consumers are like, I want more AI in my phone. And then Apple's like, well, this is AI. But consumers are like, yeah, but that doesn't sound like
That's not real AI.
that's not Iron Man tech, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like, it doesn't, I don't have like basically like an Iron Man helmet on that can do
Where's the
anything I want.
holograms? And I want to
Yeah,
grab and put it.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, this is normal stuff, but we're saying we're using AI for it. So I think it's kind of like two pronged, and I won't blame the consumer, but I do think it has to do with AI marketing and what AI is and isn't.
Oh, absolutely. They definitely hopped on the train there with Apple Intelligence, the marketing of it and everything. AI was huge, and it's not as big anymore. So they tried to capitalize on that when they probably shouldn't have, maybe.
And meanwhile, and you say like AI is huge and it's not anymore. Meanwhile, the real AI stuff is bubbling in the background,
Still growing and
it's
still,
growing, and it's getting a lot better for the purposes that it's using for. Spoiler: we may do something about ChatGPT 3.0 coming up soon.
Yeah.
Huge improvements, it seems, but there's a difference in what consumers see and what like super users see.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep, I agree. I don't know how to end the video though.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and contributing to the conversation with a comment below.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
See ya.